All right, well, back with yet another one of these videos. I feel like I'm making them every week. In fact, I think I even said that last week. Another what went wrong with the Green Bay Packers video. As a whole, listen, I'm not going to crush them. They played Buffalo. Buffalo is good. Giving up a bunch of points to Buffalo, I know people are concerned. No doubt this defense has been underwhelming this season, but I'm not going to freak out over that. But the offense continues to stall. There were some nice things. We'll talk about the nice things they did a little bit later on, sort of towards the end of this video. But for now, let's talk about just, again, kind of more of the same old for the Green Bay Packers. All right, let's start off with this play. What's going to happen here is this is really kind of a great microcosm of the Packers night in general. I feel like really the Packers season offensively in general right here on this one, where it's going to be a 4th down and 3, huge play in the game. Love the call to go for it here. Why would you punt in this situation? And it's going to be a tough field goal. So clearly going for it, I think, you got to steal some possessions against the Bills. Love this decision by LaFleur. As for the Bills, they're playing that coverage that keeps giving Green Bay trouble. It's a, cover 1 play with a single safety. It's cover 1 play, man coverage, also known as a cover 1 hole, where the sidelines are open. If you want to take a deep shot, you can, but the Packers don't really have anyone who can win in those deep shots. And now it's tougher to, it's not super easy to run the football despite the man coverage. It just puts you in a really difficult situation for Green Bay. They've really struggled. And look, Rodgers looks down the field, doesn't love what he sees, and then pressure comes. He kind of just fires one off. I don't know how he managed to even just get a throw off, but no one was there. He just threw one as a prayer because it's 4th down. You might as well. I mean, just a tough play by the entire Green Bay Packers offense, and they really struggled against these types of plays, and this is a big part of why the Packers offense, I think, has struggled. Yes, you can run some drives together and scheme stuff up, but there are still going to be plays where this is a necessary component, and they've really struggled with these types of plays. Heading over here now this is going to be another kind of very similar example. It's actually the exact same coverage that Buffalo is running here, and again, the last play pressure came pretty quickly, and that's a very key thing, but it's not just the offensive line. The offensive line's had its struggles, and I thought that it definitely had its struggles in this one. I also thought the receiving core had its struggles, and this play is a good example of that. Look at how I'm going to let it roll for about 3 seconds, a little over 3 seconds at this point. Typically, you get about 2.5 seconds, right? That's what you typically expect. That's what you hope to get as a quarterback. We're past 3 seconds now, so at this point, maybe you could argue Rodgers should be getting to the check down, but I mean, that check down that we see on the screen is not looking great, so you don't want to throw it there. Rodgers, I think he likes something that might develop, but just needs more time. So now he tries to see if he can scramble out, but at that point, he gets sacked. Again, if guys aren't getting open quick enough, eventually the pressure is going to get there. You have to get guys open quicker, and the Packers have just struggled with that. I mean, that's why you're seeing them, really struggle at times. It feels like the same story every week with them, but this is the issue. I think this play actually perfectly exemplifies who the Packers are. The Packers are actually a very smart team, I think. I think they know what they are. They know where they're at. Personally, I think they should, they'd be smarter if they traded for Brandon Cooks or something, or maybe didn't, just sort of said, hey, Adams, I know you don't want to be on our team anymore. Whatever, we still have you under contract. Maybe he would have sat out. You did get decent value, but the main point is I think that they should have done something for the receiving position. But okay, they didn't do that. This is what their team is. They know that, and they are kind of planning to their strengths. At least these past couple weeks they have been, especially this week. They're running the ball a lot when that was working. This play is both going to be a smart play, and it's the perfect reason why the Green Bay Packers are struggling, where they're at the 20-yard line. They have to get to the 7-yard line for a 1st down. So 3rd and 13, this is tough. This is not an easy play, right? But what are they going to do here? Rodgers is going to basically do a spin move and then throw the halfback screen to Aaron Jones. That could have potentially been a pick 6, just the way it kind of flukily bounced, but that would have been very unfortunate. The real reason that I'm bringing this up as kind of an unfortunate play is this is their best play. This is their 3rd and 13 play. It's 3rd and 13, not 3rd and 23. Like, that's an achievable play that you can make. If I'm being honest, I don't even hate this call. I don't think it's a bad call necessarily, but it just goes to show the team building failure, I think, of the Green Bay Packers this year. They thought some of these receivers would step up. They really haven't. And now you're in a situation where, despite having a superstar quarterback coming off of back-to-back MVPs, and I think still playing well, personally, I don't put the blame on him at all. You're still in a situation where the team is going away from putting the ball in his hands and are trying to put the ball in Aaron Jones's hands, which, listen, Aaron Jones, great player, like him a lot. You put the ball in his hands as many times as you can. It makes sense. But on a 3rd down and 13, it's just a tough situation for Jones. Now, heading over here, I want to talk about some positives, because I would say every single game we've seen some positives. Every single one of these games, we've seen the Packers do something that makes you say, okay, here's a spark. And I do still feel like, listen, the Packers really, yes, they had their issues in this game. They had their issues against Buffalo. I think every team would have their issues against Buffalo. But, you still do see these flashes, and you want to see more of these, but you still do see some flashes. This is going to be Romeo Doubs, who, has been a bright spot for this team. They didn't spend a ton of draft capital to get him, but he has been a bright spot. It's a man coverage play. You're going to see him in motion. Watch as he goes in motion towards the bottom of the screen. Now he's running the deeper route, though, and he gets past the corner that he's going up against. There is an opening. It's kind of a weird play where a lot of receivers will tell you the most difficult ball to catch is actually the one thrown directly over your head. It's a lot easier when it's on one shoulder or the other, which makes sense, right? You can kind of adjust to it better. But when it's directly over your head, it's just kind of more difficult to adjust to it. Not really too much you can do as a quarterback. That's, you're putting the ball in position where your receiver can make the catch, but it just makes for a tough catch. But look at Doubs make this just incredible catch, as it was pretty good defense, closeout defense, I would say, to try and knock the ball out. I thought for sure that ball was going to get knocked out, and it didn't. Doubs was able to make the grab. So, again, there's these sparks, right? We obviously know the running game is good. That's, not surprising. We do start to see these sparks. I think it's fair to say, though, you just want to see them more consistently, right? And, they need to get them more consistently. This play, I think, pretty much just summed up the entire night, maybe the entire season so far for the Green Bay Packers. They just get an interception that lets them back into the game. Okay, it's a long shot, down 17 with 12 and a half minutes, but you know what? Get a quick score here, and it's a 2-score game with 10 minutes left. That feels totally possible. Again, the way the game is going, it feels unlikely, but if it was just 2 random teams, you would totally say that is still, there's a chance to win that game. But as you see, Rodgers takes the snap. This one is going to be tipped up and then intercepted. I mean, just a hilarious turn of events, really. I mean, that made me laugh. That's really what it did. I can't believe that, it's just very funny. This has not been a good season for the Green Bay Packers. There's no getting around it. This has been such a disappointment for a team that really had, and probably still does to some degree, have championship aspirations. We knew that this was going to be tough. We knew playing Buffalo was going to be tough. It is interesting how their season and the Buccaneers' season have mirrored each other so much. Both teams are 3-5. But here is the benefit for Green Bay. You play Detroit next week. That feels like it could be a get-right game for this offense. If they can't get stuff going in that one, then it's time for concern. I don't think it's time for concern now. It's not time for panic now. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Also worth mentioning, though, next, a bit of a tough stretch after that, though. You have the Cowboys, Titans, and Eagles. So need the Lions win next week. But yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.